let us go, and I would like to close all models now. Okay? File, close all. Okay. I would like to ask people to get online. Make sure that you have a good network connection. You're going to need it. How many people here do not have a mouse? I'm not talking creatures, okay? I'm talking about, okay. So I will lend this mouse to people. Kurt, do you have a mouse? Okay, I might have a Bluetooth mouse as well, because some of these examples are easier to follow. I realized I should have mentioned this. I thought I had yes, I have a Bluetooth mouse here. Okay, so I have two mice, and I could lend them to individuals here. I think this goes with this guy, yeah. If people want to borrow my mouse, I think I'd rather have myself struggle than you struggle. So, mice for grabs? Okay. So maybe you can share a mouse? I don't know. Okay. Okay, great. Let's try that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I don't think what we're doing requires a mouse. It's just it's a little bit easier to do with a mouse, particularly for zooming in. And Kurt, I may need to ask some of your young person skills for helping me in a mouseless fashion. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to today create. Most of today will be spent on GIS and GIS applications. This will require a network connection. It will require with a capital R. It benefits from a mouse, having a mouse. Okay? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to create a new model. New model. And the time unit of the model, oh, very important, should be days. Maybe I'll just make a comment on that, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to the time unit, you'll notice that AnyLogic's default time unit is unfortunately seconds. Okay? Now, this is quite dangerous, and we have told them they really need to fix that if possible. And I believe actually they may have fixed that by now in the latest version of AnyLogic. But while you have a time unit of seconds, I would ask that you be very cautious about adding things into the model, because if you add things in like charts, transitions, by default they will have seconds as their unit. And if you have a chart that is updating on the order of seconds, it'll end up running extremely slowly, even if you later change the model to be in hours or days or minutes or years. You may not notice that this chart is still in seconds. And this is one of the big risks for a slow performing model, believe it or not, is that there's a dumb thing where this chart is being updated on the order of seconds. And so it's trying to summarize the number of incident cases, on a second by second basis, which is just crazy. Where even though your model, you've later gone back and changed the time unit of the model to be years, because you created that chart before you did that, its time unit is still seconds. Now, of course, you can go to that chart and make it years, but it's an easy mistake to make. So please be careful about setting your time unit there at the beginning, or if you forget, go immediately to set the time unit of the model. And I was grateful to someone who spotted that as a gap in one of my models yesterday. Okay, so here we go, and this model should actually be called first GIS model. Okay, great. Okay, so Kurt, I see you're on the prowl, which is great. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start by doing something we did yesterday. We're going to create a home class. Okay, home. So let's create a new agent type, home, capital H-O-M-E. Why capital? Because it's going to denote homeness, or the set of all possible homes. So it's appropriate. It's with a capital. We'll say associated with a person. We'll say lowercase h. It's a particular specific home. So here's a home. Okay.
Just a quick question. What does agent will be used in flowcharts?
Oh. Right. So you can choose, there are these libraries, like the train library, the rail car library, and the pedestrian library, that are specialized types of libraries which allow AnyLogic to reason about crowd dynamics, like if people are trying to evacuate a building. Pedestrian library will capture the fact that people like space between each other, and when backing up for a door, they'll tend to back up in a certain way. It has this sort of psychosocial model of sort of how people interact spatially, and rail and train are sort of specialized for those areas. These have flowcharts associated with them to guide the rules for the rail environment or the pedestrians. And I don't know a lot about it, but I think the idea is that if an agent's going to be used in that, it may provide some additional features. Or if it's used as a resource unit in certain contexts. I actually have never used that, so I can't speak for sure. And I don't think it's like you got to do it now or you won't be able to do it. I think it skips you a step of doing it manually, like a lot of these so-called wizards, okay? So I'm just going to say, well, I just said finish. Okay, so here's our home. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to use the same image for home that we used yesterday, okay? And so I'd like to go to the pictures, and I'd like to add in a house. So add the house into the home, okay? So the house image will be used for the home. Are we okay with that? Is that okay? Okay. House image added to home. Great. Okay, now I'd like you to add in a store. To create a new class called convenience store. Okay, convenience store. Okay, and I'd like to set it so that we have a different icon used for that, to wit, a retail store icon, but I'd actually like to make it one size smaller. Okay, so how did I do this? I dragged it in and I went like this, and I sort of dragged it one size smaller, like that. It's a little bit of a smaller size. It's not a terribly critical thing. It will just look a little bit nicer. Okay, and we're now in good shape. Okay, so to rehearse, we have a model. The model's time unit should be in days. We have a convenience store, and we have a home. Are we ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will veer off in a very different direction, although building still on yesterday's experiences. Okay, so I would like you to go to the palette, okay, and I would like you to go, and I should remember where this is. Okay, so give me just a second here. Oh man, space markup. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. There we are. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go edit that. So go to the space markup palette, which we have thus far not used. Now the space markup palette will be used for several things, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things it'll be used for is if we wanted to show like a clinic or an indoor space where people travel on certain paths, we would actually articulate that using the space markup. We could also delineate rooms there, so like procedure rooms, and show paths between those rooms. But here, our interests are going to lie in the GIS features, which are also included here. Okay, so okay, so I'd like you to go and take the GIS map here and go make sure Maine is selected, and I'd like you to drag GIS map over to Maine. Okay? So this is where we need online, because we're going to be doing searching on this map, and that searching is going to be done against some databases, geographic GIS databases. Okay? So what did I do? I went to Maine, I went to the space markup palette, and I dragged the GIS map over. Now, this next little bit, I'm actually going to zoom in on. How do I do that? I could double click on Maine. This is one of the things where having a mouse would be preferable. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, just double clicked on Maine, okay? Having done that, it expanded Maine to the full view. That would be nice to look at the whole map here. I'd like to double click on the map. Now, when I do this, you should see something like the following. Now, be warned, there's slight differences between different AnyLogic versions and AnyLogic on Mac versus PC with respect to this next little bit. And we're going to have to bear with that. And Kurt will do his best to circulate and help speak to the realities of your situation, of your condition. But I'm going to go slowly because of this, because I want to make sure people are following along, because the next few steps are recommended by their delicacy. Okay? Okay, so we double clicked on this, and when you see this, do you all see something like this in the upper left? Do you see that? Okay, raise your hand if you don't. Kurt stands ready. Okay, yeah, you're on a Mac. Yeah, okay, good. Yes, that's a known issue there on a Mac. Okay, on Macs, to see the point region distinction, you may have to right-click in the search area and then click back on it. Okay, hard-won evidence. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to search for Minneapolis. And to do so using region. Region here. Make sure region is selected. Minneapolis, okay? Make sure it's region, not point. Are we okay? Okay, now I'd like you to search. You'll notice it's actually searching here. Okay, now we found two Minneapolises. I trust the first one is the correct one. Hennepin County? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, do you see this result? Okay, if anyone does not, please raise their hand, and Kurt will be at your side in a jiffy. Okay? Okay, Kurt, jiffy means quick. Okay. Okay, press enter. Okay. Now, it asks, at least on mine, it asks, element is located outside the visible area of the GIS map. Okay. And it says, would you like to select the element and show it on the map? Yes. Boom. Okay. Okay. So now it's showing some information. I want to be careful about whether I need this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to double click again on this guy. Okay, and we're going to go and okay. So this is interesting. Okay, so it should have entered. Okay, so I'm I'm struggling here because I was expecting. Here we are. We're supposed to click on this and to convert to GIS point region. So just search again, and then instead of just double clicking it, right click on it and say convert to GIS point region. Do you see that? On the left here. So right click on that result and do convert to GIS point region. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen. Now what we're going to do is double click on the map and then drag to see the destination. Okay, so hey, come on. Oh man. So do this, and so double click on it, and then I can okay. The point is you want to be able to drag the map around rather than, in other words, drag the contents of the map around, and then you want to zoom in on this. Okay. Now this is the thing. It's much easier to do with a mouse, and I'm gonna have to see how I can. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Kurt. That's the young person's help I needed. Okay, so I'm doing a two-finger sort of scroll here. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to zoom until we get Minneapolis St Paul area, the Twin Cities area, filling more or less the entire screen here. Okay, so I'm situating mine kind of like this. It's not an exact thing, but I just want to make sure Minneapolis St Paul are visible. Can you see that? Do you see that? Okay. Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now, having done this, okay, maybe I'll hold off a bit. Are people seeing this basic sort of thing? You have it zoomed in. You notice it's selecting the Minneapolis city boundaries likely, but I'm showing St. Paul as well, just so we can actually get pieces on there. I also don't mind showing Little Canada on it. I don't know why that's. What's that? Is that right? Oh wow. Okay. Well, glad you keep good company. Yeah. No, that's great. Okay. So are we all seeing this? Are we all okay? Okay. The next thing we're going to do, and Kurt, do you need another few minutes here?
Maybe a moment for the shape.
Okay.
The shape of that it was a weird triangular thing. So sorry.
Okay. Sure. That's actually not far from Roseville, is it? No. Okay. Uh-huh. And that's the name of a town?
Yeah.
Little Canada? Right. Well, we'd welcome you to Big Canada sometime. Okay. Okay. So you're all set, Kurt? Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, This first part is the delicate. We're through most of it now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I'd now like to double click on this map. Okay, double click on the map, and that, oops, so until we see a search box. Okay, there should be a search box here. Okay, and now we want to select point, and you may have to use that same Mac trick of right-clicking and going back to point. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to search now for a convenience store. Okay. Now, how many people here are using PLE, Personal Learning Edition? You're using it? Okay, great. So we'll shape a little bit how we do things for that. Okay. So, Kurt, should I hold off a little bit or convenience store as a point, Kurt? Yeah. Okay. Okay, ready? And I'm going to do search. Now you'll notice, oh gosh, there's just one convenience store? Stores, okay, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. Okay, now the fox has shown its tail. Okay, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to select, with a nod towards our colleagues using, who are using PLE, we're going to select a subset of these. Other people could actually use a larger number. But what I'd like to do is to select 10 of these, okay? You know, those of you who are not using PLE could likely do more, but I'm gonna select 10 of them. Okay? Are we okay with that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, having done that, I'm selecting 10, and I'm gonna right click here, and then I'm going to say create agents at selected elements. And which agent will I create? Can you guess? Convenience stores. Okay. I'm pleased to see there's no convenience stores in Little Canada. Okay. Okay. So, having done that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go look at Maine. We're going to sort of scroll over here, and you notice what's happened here. What's up there to the left? Well, you'll recognize them. This is BP Lindell. This is Winner, Longfellow Family Foods, another BP Bombay Food and Grocery. Those are the convenience stores, and they've been created as particular agents, ladies and gentlemen. As a different. That's a good question. Is the order here the same, or?
No, the order of the store is different.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not. It may have just been the order in which the database returned them. They're not ordered. In other words, the order is irrelevant. So it may just opportunistically return it to you in one way, based on how long the GIS queries took. Yeah, just pick 10. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to then go to those stores, go select them in this. I'd like to drag them to the left, and I'd like to right click on them, and I'd like to say create collection. Let me rehearse that in case you missed that. This is where they were created. Okay? I'm going to select them. I select them by pulling this around them. I'm going to drag them. And the reason I'm dragging them is just we're going to have some others ending up here, and I don't want them all to be intermixed. We're going to be searching for grocery stores next.
So I can get the stores for the
Uh, okay. You mean, do you have, if you go to the left of the map, do you see it? If you scroll over to the left of the map. So here's the map itself. This is where the stores are located. But I scrolled over here to the left, and I saw them. Is that where, do you folks see them there? To the left, they're not on the map. They're near the map, but not of the map. Okay? So I just selected those, and I'm going to do create collection. And I'm going to call this collection convenience stores. Okay? The collection will be called convenience stores. Convenience store collection. Okay? Convenience store collection. Most of the way through the delicacies. Okay. Okay. So, Kurt, did you find them there? They were over to the left of the map? They were to... Oh, okay. Okay. No. No. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, did everyone else find them? Who needs help with this? Are you following along? Okay. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to go to create a supermarket class. So we're going to go create a supermarket. Okay. And this is a class in AnyLogic. And I would like to go give it a appropriate palette item. Oops. An appropriate palette item. So open up supermarket. And for the palette for supermarket, I would like to give it, well, with the lack of good alternatives, I think I'll give it a warehouse one. And I think I'll make it one size smaller as well. Okay? I'll make it a little bit smaller. There we are. Supermarket. Are we okay with that? Sorry? Okay. So you did new class supermarket. Oh, I think maybe it was created. Kurt, is it possible? Oh, Java class. Yeah, you want to create an agent type. Sorry if I didn't make that. I probably said class, but these things are called classes. They denote a sort of a class of entities, like a home denotes homeness, homehood, but it's kind of a class of all possible homes as well. Convenience store denotes sort of convenience store hood, but a class of possible convenience stores. And so it is, and so we call these classes, but in AnyLogic you can also explicitly create what's called a Java class. Okay? So Kurt, I went there and I created a supermarket, and then under palette, I dragged a warehouse in. Yeah, to the supermarket. Are we okay with that? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to repair ourselves to these to this map of Minneapolis. And once again, we're going to Minneapolis St Paul metro area. And now we're going to double click on this map so we see the search again. We're going to once again search for a point, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And when we search for this point, we're going to search for a supermarket. Supermarkets. You could be right. Let me try it. I think I did supermarket. So, okay. Okay. Did you folks see these things now get shown? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to now select the first 10 of these. Now, I'm doing 10 because of the PLE. PLE allows you to have up to 25 of agent types, I think, or 25 agents, embedded agents. So I'm just being careful for our PLE colleague. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we now have, I just selected 10 of these, and now I'm going to say, right-click on this, create agents at selected elements, and guess what agent I'm going to create? Supermarket. Are you okay with that? Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to select supermarket. Okay? So I've just created supermarkets. Now, having done that, now over on the left-hand side here are the supermarkets. Remember how we dragged the convenience stores out of the way so they wouldn't be intermingled? Ladies and gentlemen, here are the supermarkets. I'm going to select those. And now, having selected the supermarkets, I'm going to say collection, and this will be called supermarket collection. Probably would be better to call them supermarkets, but supermarket collection. There we go. Okay. 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 Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're most of the way through the, we're actually through the interaction with the map directly right now. We're going to see things displayed on the map, but we're through that. And we're going to be working towards a break in a few minutes. I want to get to a good milestone here in just a moment. Okay, so what you should have now is each of you should have a set of convenience store agents together with a convenience store collection. I'll put it over those. And then a set of supermarkets with a supermarket collection. Okay? Are we okay with that? Now, if you look at any one of these, let's say the Lunds supermarket here. It's not particularly important that it's the Lunds, but if you take a look at this, what you'll find is that this is an agent of type supermarket. This agent is going to be embedded in GIS space. Now, it turns out that we can add these in interactively. In other words, there's no restriction that you have to do a search just like this and add them in. In fact, there's a version of what I'm going to be giving today where I actively add in supermarkets over time and create new supermarkets, just like we did yesterday with those clinics. We actually add them into GIS locations. We might do that this afternoon, we might not, depending on how time goes. Okay? Okay, but we have these collections. Okay, the next thing I'd like you to do, we've reached a milestone there as far as that delicacy. Okay, now I'd like you to set up a population of homes, just like we did yesterday. Okay? So if you go to your project, make sure main is open. I'd like you to drag home into main and call it homes. Okay? It should be a population of agents, and the initial number of agents, we'll leave it at 100. Okay? Okay. Now, we're going to go now distribute these individuals throughout this map, and we're going to do so similarly. We're gonna have a population of people. Okay, so let's add in the population of people. We'll come back to the homes to set their location after the break. So for the population of people, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to create a person agent. Okay, new agent type person. Okay, and for person, okay, this one's going to involve a little bit of drawing here. So I'd like you to go to the palette. For person, we're going to draw a representation of the person. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to drag in an oval and set it on this place here. But we're going to edit its properties, ladies and gentlemen, down below in a couple of ways. So the one thing is, we're going to set it so that its radius, we're going to set it to be an oval. You'll notice for this position and size, we can set it to be an oval. And now it will have different X radius and Y radius. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to set its radius X to be 3 and its radius Y, ladies and gentlemen, to be 5. Okay? So we have something that's, I'll zoom in a little bit here, okay? There we are. Something that looks kind of like that. Radius 3 for X, radius X is 3, and radius Y is 5. And now, we're going to put above it, you may know where I'm going with this, I'm going to put it centered right there. We're going to put above it a circle of radius 2. Okay? Circle of radius 2. There we go. And that's going to serve as their head. Okay? Okay. So how did I do that? First of all, I zoomed in and I dragged this thing. Would people like me to draw that again to see how I did that? Ladies and gentlemen, would you like me to see how I did that again? Would you like that? Or are you feeling okay with that? Okay, ambiguous. Well, that's their head, so it would be favorable if it were kind of, if it were near, at least close enough that it's not, like this is too far away. But as long as it's reasonably close, so it doesn't look, it doesn't look, it still looks humanoidal. Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll work. It's their girth that will be changing, not their height. Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have our representation of a person. So, having done that, I would like you, Kurt, I'd like you to come over here for a minute. I have a task. Okay. Now, let's go to main. And I'd like you to drag in a population of people to be in the model. And that population of people, ladies and gentlemen, should be population of people should be of size. Initially, it'll be just for performance reasons. We're going to see. We're going to limit it to 10 right now because it's very important that certain exercises occur quickly. So if you could drag in person here, create a population called populations, and it should be initially of size 10. Make there be a parameter called population size. Make that be 10 by default, and make it 100 by default, make the experiment, make it 10, and use that population size for the population of people. Okay? So, sorry, that wasn't clear. So drag in a parameter, population size, make its default value be 100. It should be an int, right? We've done this many times before. An int 100. Drag in, create a population of people. Hey. Okay. And make it called population. You know how to make it a population. And make it a population of population size. And then make the default experiment, the first experiment, to have a population size of 10. Okay? So this would be a population. You know how to do that, of population size. Okay? So Kurt, I have a request for you. So could you find out for the metropolitan area of Minneapolis St Paul, get its geo-coordinates, so latitude and longitude bounding box. So longitude here, longitude there, latitude here, latitude there. Can you do that?
In metropolitan.
Well, just roughly this area. Yeah, that'd be great. Be sure to include Little Canada. Okay. Okay. Little Canada is in fact the town of some. Well, I won't say of some renown, but it's on the map. Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, so the population size. This population is a population size. This is a population of people. This is a population of homes. And then I'm going to go over to this, and for this default experiment, I'm going to actually set the first experiment. I'm going to set it to be 10. We want to keep it small because it's going to be looking these up in databases to route them around, and to have it go quickly at first, we want it to be small. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we want to do the following. We want to go into person and have a parameter called home. Okay. So we're going to add a parameter to person that's called home with a lowercase h, and guess what type that will be? Anyone? What type will that parameter be? It will be a home, indeed. So this will be a home, and it will be of type home with a capital H. Remember, capital denotes the class of things, sort of homeness or set of all possible homes from which this parameter will hold exactly one value. For any one person, this parameter will hold a single value. You know, there will be one person who has this home, another person who has that home. But home could take on a value drawn from any of these homes. Okay? Are we okay with this? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next, we're just about done for the break. I would like to go to Maine, go down Maine, go to the population. Now, where it says home here, I would like to do the following. I would like to say homes dot random. Okay? Okay. Okay. And so that will, what is that going to mean? Can anyone tell me? Does anyone remember from yesterday? Yeah, it's going to, for each successive person in the population, it's going to be assigning them to a random home, a home selected randomly with uniform probability from amongst the from amongst these homes. Right? Returns an agent from this collection. That's the collection homes uses uniform distribution. Okay, great. And now, just about done, for the initial location, we're going to place them in the specified points, and the points will be, you'll notice now that we say in the specified point, and what does it say differently than before? What is it saying there now? Latitude, longitude, right? So for latitude, I'd like to do self.home.get latitude. And for longitude, self.home.get longitude. You got those? Or?
Yeah, the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm going to use approximately.
yeah, that's good. Okay?
I don't have any specific point that has been utilized in college.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. 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 Okay. Do other people see this? Okay. Who needs Krugerian help? Okay, so Kurt's going to give us the final piece of information we need to complete this in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll have the break here. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you feeling okay with that?
Quick question, what's movement visual speed 10? Where's like freaks me out? Half of my houses have a movement.
Well, it's okay. It's their potential speed. If you never tell it to move, it won't move. It's just if you ask the house to move, at what speed would it move? So if you want to set it to 0, if that would be more reassuring, that would be fine. I wouldn't object, and I think it would be sensible. But yeah, I mean it's not actualized unless you ask it to move. Yeah. So okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we're going to go to homes, and for homes, we've set a person to have their latitude and longitude to be defined by their home. But for homes, we want their initial location to be given by the specified point or by the latitude longitude. Okay? Okay, so Kurt has hopefully figured out the latitude and longitude bounds of the rough Minneapolis St Paul metro area. So Kurt, for latitude, I'd like you to put this uniform distribution between, what's the minimum latitude, Kurt?
All right, so let's try this one. Hopefully it works. The minimum south latitude is long decimal
44.
0.6318.
0.631898. Okay, yeah.
And the north point is
45.
45.41.
41.
4647.
4647. Okay, so 44.63. Probably if you just type 44.63, it will be fine.
Probably.
Yeah, and 45.4141 would probably be fine, but I typed it out here. I'll put it up on the big screen for tired eyes. Okay, so that's for latitude. And do you want to do longitude? So this is doing from a uniform. So we're drawing a house's location from this. Now, obviously, we could draw this from a GIS database as to where houses are located, in which case we could populate this with actual house locations and tracks or what have you. But how about for longitude?
So the west,
The minimum latitude?
yeah, the minimum is
Minus 93.
-93.76.
5765720. Okay, and the maximum?
Maximum is
Minus 92.
-92.861515.
861515. Okay. We'll soon see. So what we're doing is we're distributing the homes over what we believe is a reasonable approximation to the Minneapolis St Paul metro area. Shall we run it? Yes.
So if you have, you were saying if you had the exact coordinates
Yeah.
from spreadsheet or something, would you be able to?
So if we had latitudes and longitudes for locations of interest from a spreadsheet, we could easily add them in as locations of agents. So let's suppose parks, or let's suppose lakes and streams, or let's suppose a home or institution of some sort. You could add those in as agents with a certain latitude, longitude. In fact, this afternoon, depending where we are time-wise and interest and so on, I could actually show that dynamically adding in something where it gets added to the map at a certain latitude, longitude. Okay? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's build and make sure this is a happy camper. Okay, mine is a happy camper, but Kurt is ready if yours is not. He's ready to make it a happy camper. Okay? Okay, shall we run it? Okay. Okay, so there are our homes. Kurt has done a fine job. But where's the map? That's what I want to know. Okay, the map should be updating here. Now, one of the features of this is that it uses the, okay, yeah, here it is, finally. Okay. It uses the network connections, and probably all of us are hitting it at the same time. Okay, so it's actually going out to a GIS server, which lives somewhere around the world, and actually getting maps from there, getting map information from there. Now, there are ways to what's called cache this, to actually keep it on your computer, keep it loaded so that it's so that it will actually load more quickly and so on. And we'll see if we can set you up for that. But here's, what are these things here? What are these blue things? They're what? Houses? These things, these yellow? Anyone remember that? Supermarkets, and these green ones are convenience stores. Okay? We're going to now make use of this after the break. Sorry?
Why do you have just one person?
Oh, do we have just one person?
I have one.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Mumble. Okay. I will check that. I will check that out. Why we? That's convenient. That's an odd thing because we have population size of 10. I'll go check this out over the break. Okay. Okay. So let's have a break and be back in. What should we say? Maybe 5 or so minutes. Okay. So I'm going to go check out what's going on here. Okay. With these people. Okay, people, homes, population, boom. Okay. Home 1495. Okay, they're assigned to different homes. Where are they? That's interesting, right? So I have a hypothesis that maybe the homes are just mostly appearing in front of them. Okay, so which order are these in? That's what I want to know.
Nate,
Yes.
you know that bug in AnyLogic? That when you create your agent, you can sort of drag the agent into main, and then you create the visualization
Yeah.
of the agent that doesn't update.
Yeah, there's a button to do create a presentation. So I know what you mean, Kurt. I think the button is down. So they had that button. Let me just see if I can locate it, Kurt. The button was there. Okay. Yeah, maybe it for the model as a whole or something, Kurt. But there should be that. But the other thing you could do, Kurt, is to just delete it and drag it back in.
Yeah,
And
we
you-
should do
I know. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, we should be able to deal with that, I think. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why these folks are not not appearing here. Okay, my own hypothesis, maybe they're in the wrong order, but most of the time when you drag them in, I would expect to see the ordering shown here, and I don't see that. That's a really curious thing. Okay, here's presentation. Here's the map. Okay, yeah. Okay. Links to agents, collections, yeah. Gosh, that's interesting. Curious. Yeah, Kurt, I'll try to find that button for you too, here. I thought they removed it, but then I thought I found it at some point, Kurt. So I think they may have moved it visually within this space, or yeah. Where do you find it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's the show presentation button. That's it.